All right, ladies and gentlemen, want to welcome everybody to Conversations. I'm your host, Al Mecca. We have hip hop legend, K, my man,
Peace,
K
peace.
Born. What's good? What's good with you, my brother?
Oh man, maintaining, man. I was out all day, man. Had to go. We had a pantry today. We have the food pantry every Wednesday. So, that was great, man. We had chicken, so the line was crazy. You know, we gave about like close to 100 bags out. Then we sent some across town, so that'll feed about like another 100 families. So that's, we put in some work today.
All right, that's what's up. Before we even jump into music, I want to tap into that. Usually we start out with the music and we go the other way with it, but I noticed on your IG, man, you are heavy into the community. What is that about? Like, what is it in you that brought that out, that got you so tapped in and deeply rooted into helping and giving back to your community?
It's just that growing up in the community, and I seen that, people offered us a lot of negative things, man. It gave us a lot of negative advice, and it entered us, the majority of us, into the prison system. Me, myself, I got arrested over 77 times, and it wasn't like people leading us in the right direction. When we was young, you want to, yo, man, I'm trying to learn how to fight. Somebody, oh, yo, man, you got to go to Rikers Island. You got to go to Spofford. They sent us to jail to learn to fight. I want to get diesel. I want to work out. They said, yo, man, you got to go to jail, man, work out, man, eat good and, go out to the yard. And, just the advice they gave us, And nowadays, we got to be the ones that we went through it and to teach the youngest, man. You ain't got to go to jail to get diesel. They got Bally's gym. They got, they got Blink gym. They got gyms there. You ain't got, you want to learn how to fight? Go down to the PAL. Go down to Madison Square Boxing Club. Go down, it's different advice that, that we could give to the youth. And then as I see today also, it's a lack of communication with the youth. So a lot of youth don't even respect their parents. But I see that they'll listen to me. So if I'm there for that, and the law of God put me there, I'm gonna use that to my advantage. So I'll rather just sit there and educate them and teach them. And that's the way you live on forever.
That's what's up. Now, what community are you in? You in the Bronx? Where are you helping out? Where does all this take place with your pantry and whatnot?
I'm in the Bronx. I'm on a section of the Bronx called 183rd, and I'm all between Grant and the Aqueduct on Evelyn Place. And like I said, I've been around there for 47 years. In 47 years, they never had nothing. They never offered us nothing. And I'm talking about, like, as far as the politicians, as far as the community leaders, we never had nothing. We never had no type of programs. I lived over there for 47 years. Never had a program. We never had a pantry. We never had a job center to teach the kids the trades, or try to teach us how to cut hair. Nobody come out there. We never had a basketball tournament. We never had nothing. So being that, I played a part in tearing down the community, coming up, and nobody was guiding me. Now I'm old enough to build a community, and I'm trying to teach everybody else and the people that's around me, to help build up the community too. And a lot of people have been doing it.
That's beautiful, man. It's so dope that you can take a negative and turn into a positive. And honestly, if more people just gave a little bit, it would just help out so much. It seems like a lot of times people just, they stuck on their own thing and they forget about there's still people out here that need help.
Yeah, like I tell people, I say, man, our duty is out here, each one teach one, but they taught us each one beat one, and we fell into it. But now that we know better, we got to do our duty, man. We got to start coming outside, and we got to start helping out. And even if, I don't expect everybody to want to be on the front line, but there's other ways that you can help. You can spread the word. You could give in a donation to the cause. You could bake a cake. You could say, all right, I'll see you all out there. Well, when the kids is out there, I'm going to come out there with a little bit of water. I'm going to come out with some potato chips. I'm going to give y'all some good advice. You know what I'm saying? Well, I know how to write grants for y'all. I'm going to take some good pictures for y'all. There's other ways that you could help. Then, you don't got to be on the front line to be a part of the community and be helping the community. There's other ways to help. But people feel that, they got to be the one doing this and they got to be the one doing that. And in all actuality, you don't, to help out and be a part of something. And that go for, anything and everything in life, You don't got to be the actual one there to be a part of something. And, you know, and it go down to a lot of the community leaders, you know, and break it down, especially the politicians, the local politicians. I stay on them because they're doing a terrible job in the Bronx, you know, all the way from the Bronx borough president to our local assemblywomen and councilwomen and senators. They're doing nothing. You know, the Bronx is falling apart. It's like it's turning back to the 70s. We got gangs everywhere. We got murders and robberies everywhere. We got even cars. You go down, you see cars with no tires on it. They're on concrete. Like back in the 70s. You know, the only thing we missing is the fires. You know.
Yeah, it's like a lot of communities are just really on the downside. Like I'm in Canton, Ohio, and we have a group called the NPR, and we're starting to do things more like annually. We give like a neighborhood picnic, but just recently we decided we're going to step out further and start doing things more often.
Yeah.
Like I said, annually we do like a neighborhood community picnic in our old neighborhood, and just bringing the young folks and old folks together, fellowship, you know, free food, DJ, you know, just to have a good time.
Yeah, and you know, and them same things like that, you know, and you got to use that opportunity when you have them type of things to bring in other things. Like, you know, well, you know, we had this. Now we're gonna have a town hall meeting with us and find out what's the problem. You know, how can we help each other? How can, you know, it's like a guy told me this. I had to be about like 35 years old. I'm 55 now. A guy said, man, if somebody wanted to put on, you know, and the way he said it was so plain to say, I'm going to tell you right now. He said, man, if somebody wanted to put somebody on, they couldn't even put them on if they wanted to. And I'm looking at him like, what you mean you can't put somebody if you want to? He said, because the average person hang out with somebody, you've been hanging around them for 15 years, but you don't know what they're good at. Because that's not the conversations we bring up. When we get together, we talk about basketball and going to clubs and, you know, how the girls look. And you knew this dude for 20 years, and that's what y'all talked about. Basketball, girls, clubs, this, that, third. And there's mad opportunities you was at, and it was like, man, yo, I need this fix, I need that. If this dude would have told you he's a master, you know, he know how to fix electronics, and he do all this and do all that and do all that, you could have plugged him into things. But being that wasn't y'all general conversation, it wasn't a conversation y'all was even having at all, you never got the chance to bring that opportunity to him.
That's real. That's real. The right conversation can definitely steer you in the right direction.
Yeah, because, you know, a lot of times it boils down to a lot of people think is what you know, and a lot of times it boils down to who you know.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Then it could be what you know and who you know. Now it's down to who's going to plug you in, who you know, who gave the word for you. Because you can have all that, but you know, somebody give you the word, the right person, it ain't gonna go nowhere, you know?
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah. Man, I'm just so happy to see you doing what you're doing. Like I said, you know, I've been following you, and I'm like, man, my man be out here in these streets, like man, you on the front lines with it, man. First of all, I salute you, my brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Salute. Thank you.
And all right, now I wanna spin it back. How did you even start having musical aspirations? How did that start?
Well, that started in with the music, man. I mean, this go back to the 70s. I lived on 170th and Morris, right across the street from Taft High School. So some guys used to always come and DJ in Taft High School, man. And it was DJ Vern and the Dillinger crew. And they was living on next to Bronx Lebanon Hospital over there, like 171st, cutting down Morris. And so they used to always come out there. This when Trans-Europe Express was out. And they had 20 versions of Trans-Europe Express. And it seemed like the whole jam, that's all they played was Trans-Europe Express in a different version. So, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm watching these dudes like, man, what the hell's going on? You know, my mom didn't want to let me go in the schoolyard because all the big dudes in there. Finally, you know, I'll be on the side. So I used to catch them when they was going in early. So I helped them bring the equipment in. So my mom's, you know, you can't go off the block back then. I'm like 7 years old. But I'm carrying the equipment. She just let me go. It was only down the block. Yeah, you can help them with the equipment. So that's how I got in, helping them in the equipment. Then I'll get in the park and watch them DJ for a little while before the big dudes start coming, because my mom's going to run me up out of there. You know, so that's how I learned how to break dance. I learned how to boogie, all that. Because, you know, that was our time.
Right.
We done carry equipment here, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I learned how to DJ, write graffiti, all that. There's some other guys, they came out. They was on Sheridan Avenue. So I started helping them with the equipment. I was the carrying equipment dude. So, you know, then I moved uptown. I had to be about like 10 years old. That's when I moved up to the area I'm now, the Fordham Road area. We moved up there. And so now I'm just chilling. I still ain't into writing no rhymes. I ain't into none of that. I'm the DJ, you know, I help people with equipment.
Right.
My boy Philly Phil was upstairs from me. And he had Kaz and a whole bunch of brothers in his house all the time. Then I met Theodore. He was I was going to PAL to the school. Theodore lived in the building right next to me. I started carrying records for Theodore and them.
Wow.
And it just went on. You know, the Cold Crush lived on Creston. You know, and then from there, going through trial and tribulations again, young. I ended up going in a youth home as a youth. And I was up there, meet Mike Tyson and all us. He was up in Tryon.
Okay.
I stayed in Tryon. I came out in 1984. A guy that I never used to really talk to because he was, you know, we really had nothing in common. You know, I used to be getting in trouble. And he was like a dude that was into karate and all this all other stuff. So, you know, and you know, we just was like, what up, but we really didn't say too much to each other. And the first day I got out, I got my GED, so they let me out. The first day I got out, I walked by, I seen all my guys that I knew and hung out with all the time, gave them this big old shout out. And you know how it was back in the day, my mom didn't let me out by myself, you know, for a while, you know, with me.
Right.
So me and her, in the store, I gave all the guys that I hung out with every day the big shout out and all that. They ain't seen me in 18 months. Then I seen him, and he was with a couple of dudes. He was like, what's up? I was like, yo, what up, man? You know, and I kept walking. And she was like, yo, what's up? Why you ain't give him a big shout out? I was like, well, you know, I seen him, you know. She was like, yo, wait up. None of them dudes ain't asked about you, but probably like 2 or 3 times. Every day I came outside, every day this guy asked me how you was doing. And that was my partner, MCLA Brew. So, you know how back that meant. Once mom said that, the next thing was coming out, she was going to go upside my head. I just came out the group home, had my little brolic on. Last thing I needed to do was get beat the first day out, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Took my whole style. So I went back, me and the brother started building. And after that, man, me and him was like, you know, every day we started hanging out together. And I was like, oh, man, you know, I'm going to write some rhymes. And he already had some. He's like, I got some rhymes, too. You know, I had a little hit, you know, Applejack joints. But he was serious, man. The Brew was like, every day he had a rhyme. So me and him started battling each other every day. You know, every day we seen each other like, yo, you can't have the rhyme from yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Do that.
Yeah, God, something fresh.
Boy. So that means you got to write a rhyme and master it by tomorrow. Because as soon as you come outside, the first person I'm coming to get is him. The first person he coming to get me. We're going to walk in the school together. We're doing everything together. So you can't get past him. And he can't get past me. You better have a rhyme.
Right.
So we was battling each other all the time. We started going to jams, battling other MCs and jams, taking them out. We taking out everybody all over the Bronx, man. So then we said, yo, let's get in some contests. They had the Devil's Nest contest at that time. We got in there, but we never got in the contest as a group. We always went solo. Okay. So he'll go solo, I'll go solo. And we always win. We'll come in the tie in the first place, or he'll win the first time, and it'll be a tie, then I'll go the next week, or it'll be vice versa. So then now they had the big joint in the Disco Fever. Okay. Disco Fever talent. The same joint they had on Crush Groove with the Fat Boys and all that. Yeah. So look, the same guy, Mandingo. His name was Big Mandingo, man. And I swear that was his favorite line. I couldn't get in. I was young. And they had a before that called the Skate Fever in the Bronx. And he used to be at the door back then in the early 80s. He used to let us in. But we was young, man, trying to hang out. We used to be falling asleep. So he used to be like, yo, if I see any one of y'all sleeping, none of y'all can't come in here no more. And this dude was buff, man. You know what I'm saying? He was a grown man. So now the Disco Fever contest come out. It's at 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, man, no way in the world my parents letting me out at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to a club. Like, that's out the box. You know what I'm saying? So I said, yo, let me try this, how we do this. I told my mom I want to spend the night at my father's house. She's like, why all of a sudden you want to spend the night at your father's house? My mom, we lived on Fordham. My father lived on 161st Street. So that's Disco Fever. So I said, mom, let's spend the night at my father's house. All of a sudden you want to spend the night at your father's house. So I get over there. My pop work at night. I'm like, yo, pop, I'll put the pitch on him. He like, man, I don't know about that, but you know, I work at night. I don't get home till like 12 o'clock, 12:30. I'm not going to no club. You know, my pops was like an Army guy, come from Charleston, South Carolina. So that was out the box. Yo, you know what? I'm going to let you go, man. As soon as it's over, you better come home. So now I'm like Cinderella. You know what I'm saying? I get there. Big man Dingo, I runs it down to him. He looking at me, man, you know you ain't supposed to be coming here. You too young, man. I said, man, I'm only going to go to the contest. The same exact words he told me in LeBrew is what he told the Fat Boys. He said, yo, the same way y'all rolling in here, if I have to look for y'all after the contest, I'm going to roll y'all up out of here. Yeah. So we goes upstairs. We get in the contest. It's a whole bunch of people there. Curtis Blow was the judge. One, I think it was DMC was the judge. It was a couple of them. Kaz was the judge. It was a couple of older guys. They all was there. Yeah. We all got up there. We got busy. So after we got busy, I won, and he came in first place, but it was a tie, like always. And everybody else was in second that, so they said, yo, they're going to let him back, come in next week and all this, boom, 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 because he didn't want the second place trophy.
Right.
He's like, nah, I want that. I'll come back. Can I come back next week? They was like, yeah, you come back next week. So now we went to the side. We broke half and half. Nobody still wasn't noticing it. The next week we went back. No, the first week when we went there, Star Child DJ for me. He was like, yo, I'll DJ for you, shorty. You ain't got no DJ. I was like, nah, DJ Star Child DJ for me. So the second week when we went back, I had already won. We had a mean beat that one of my older guys gave to us, James Copeland. Big shout out to James Copeland. He gave us a mean beat that a group from Domination had made. So the Brew used the beat. He got busy. He came in first place. Now we on the side. We splitting money. That's when Star Child seen us. He said, man, y'all two a group? We was like, yeah. He was like, man, why y'all ain't get on there together, man? Y'all the best. We was like, no, we want to show what we can do. And the boy, he was like, man, y'all dudes is awesome. Y'all, I can't believe y'all a group. And the both of y'all won individually because usually one dude would be nice in the group, another dude.
Right.
So he said, yo, I'm going to introduce y'all to somebody. The next week we went through, he introduced us to Brucey B. Brucey B brought us to the rooftop. And that first day he brought us to the rooftop, Teddy Riley was there. He introduced us to Teddy Riley, introduced us to Gusto. And it just was a skating rink. They had no equipment, nothing. So we got in there. We had no demo or nothing. You know, it's cost to go in the studio back in the days, man.
Right. Yeah, it was very expensive. Yeah. You just couldn't wake up and record.
Nah, it was you, man. You had to save your check, and LeBrew had to save. We had to work for weeks to go in the studio, man. It was serious, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't $20 studio sessions, $30. But the people that really had studios was the guys that was in the big buildings downtown. They had them, and then you like the college people. So you'll go to the college people, they'll give you a discount, but they were starting like you, man. You know, the dude trying to play your joint with a guitar and all, like, nah, man, this ain't gonna work, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't gonna work. So, you know, and we stood there, we did what we always did. LeBrew started banging on the wall. We started hitting our routines, getting busy, and that was it. There was nothing else said. It was like, yo, man, this is it. You know what I'm saying? We had Disco 4 was in the house. Teddy Riley had just made a beat for them, Spanking. They was about to break the record. And that was the beat for Raps New Generation. So, you know, Teddy was like, wait up, man. Even all the dudes in Disco 4 was like, wait up, man. I don't think we we want to come out, but I think we want to pass the torch to these young brothers, man. And that was big, you know what I'm saying? Cool G, Greg G, Scooby, and them brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to them all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? B Fats and them. Them brothers really, you know, because they passed the torch, but they so what Teddy said ain't cussing them, and Greg G still wanted to make the record. He was the only one. He was like, man, no, we sure can't get them to join. You know, it's always what, dude, nah. So they said, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, here go again, overnight. We're going to give y'all the beat. Y'all bring back what y'all got, and we're going to hear what y'all got tomorrow. And we'll decide who's going to make the joint. And we came back with Raps New Generation.
Man, that song was like, it was crazy.
Yep.
Because like I said, I'm from Ohio, right? But at the time, I was living in Connecticut. I'm in Southern Connecticut. So I'm picking up on the whole vibes, the wave, everything. You know what I'm saying? And man, Red Alert would throw that thing on, and it was y'all had something special.
Yeah, yeah,
It
man.
was
We
special.
started the whole wave, man. And when we got a documentary coming out, the rooftop documentary, you're gonna hear I speak more about it. Because, inside there, some of the people that's in the documentary was like, yeah, y'all made the record and this, that, that. I'm like, nah, we didn't make a record. We started a whole wave. A whole bunch
Yeah.
of people came behind us, and there was no more hip hop Scooby-Doo. No disrespect to that, but that era now it was, you had to come with some rhymes, man. You had to turn the KRS One, you had to turn the Rakim, you had to come up here, Big Daddy Kane. You had to come up here, you had
That song,
OG
that
Bulldogs. You had to come out.
bro, that song was so infectious though, cause like I would sit back, especially when we was at the Latin Quarters, and the energy it used to bring to the LQ was ridiculous, man.
And you know what's crazy? Big shout out to Brooklyn too, because our joint was rocking in Brooklyn. Like we still was trying to be like, man, we ain't hearing it on the radio. We ain't hearing this. We in the Bronx complaining like a mom. Man, we go out to Brooklyn one day, me and LeBrew, we just going shopping. We going out to Albee Square Mall and all that, because
All right.
and we hear the joint on. We like, hold on, wait up. A record store is playing it first. We go in the record store. I forgot the name of the record store, man. When we go in the record store, the dude is in there, greet us. He let us sign some records. We go outside. It was a lady named Michelle. Big shout out to Michelle, man. She was a Caucasian lady. She was like, oh, y'all made that record? I got a whole dance group that danced to y'all record. So now we was doing shows. She added the dance group. Flex was down with us. That life, came up to doing the movies and all that. He was one out dancing. We had a lot of people that turned out on, became famous and all that. That was part of Rap's new generation. It was down with that wave,
Yeah, that was a hell of a wave. Shout out to my man Smash. He you know what I'm saying? He repping Stamford, Connecticut. He done joined us. That was one of my partners from when I was living out on the East Coast, man. Like I said, that rap new generation was just crazy though. Like at what point did you just realize we can really do this music shit and take it serious?
Just like after all the battles, we done battled everybody in the street. We done took out everybody in the street. So now we started going to the clubs. We done took out everybody in the clubs. We kind of came in first place in all the big clubs. We came in individually, not even as a group. And then once Brucey B came, that, Star Child, like, man, your brother, make records. And Brucey B came, and we got down there in the rooftop, so, that idea, they like, yo, y'all can make records, man. And we already had so much material and so many things that we already had, just from battling each other every day.
Right.
So we already, like, we came Rap's new generation. We didn't have that. We went home like, yo, man, we got to come up with a record. We got to come up with a record. And my favorite place to write everything anybody takes was in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had sisters, 3 sisters, my brother, all us living in the same house. I can't admit, like the room we had, it was a split in the middle. So if I have my
right,
we gotta go to school. We gotta go to school in the morning, but I'm okay. I'm writing these rhymes, man. The brew waiting for me as soon as I come out in the morning. And I'll go, So, before my mom's bought me a lamp and all that, I'm the bathroom my place. Anybody got to go to the bathroom at night, you got to knock on the door. I ain't using the bathroom. I'm just in there writing. I still do that. I live by myself. And I be in that bathroom, man, sitting in that joint. Once I sit there, all my thoughts start. You know what I'm saying? I write grants. I'm just sitting there. I'm not using the bathroom. I'm just sitting there. That was my place to just sit and think. And I went in there. I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, we got to come up with a record. And just out of Rap's new generation. Just came up in my head, yo, Rap's new generation. Sorry, old times. I got outside the next day. Yo, LeBrew, this is what I got. He already ready. If I was this lady is old, he ready. He ready. He gonna battle me anyway. You know what I'm saying? What you got? What you got? What you got? Calm down, player. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm on your team, man. He was anyway. You know what I'm saying? He can't wait to battle me. So his rhymes was, we didn't sit there and write it together. When I came out in the morning, what you got? This is what I got. All right, come on. We're going down there and let them hit. We both was going over on the train, the whole ride from Fordham Road to 155th Street, the back of the D train. He banging. We went over it like 7, 8, 9, 10 times. We got there. Yo, this is what we got. You would have swore we was in the studio for 4 days. We ain't missing a cue. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was like, yo, let's do it. We all ended up recording in Jersey. So we used to go out to Teaneck, New Jersey. We used to go to Eddie Murphy's house all the time. His mom used to say, you and Eddie look just alike. That's when his brother Vernon was in he had it down with his crew. Yeah, remember his brother Vernon, I forgot the name of their crew, man. That's right on the tip of my tongue. Had a crew. Don't get mad at me, Vernon. Yeah. Eddie Murphy brother, man. I forgot the name of Vernon. Gotta get it, man. He gonna kill me, man. But yeah, we used to go to his house all the time. They was living out in Teaneck, New Jersey. So that was big, man. That's where, you know, Eddie was young. Yeah. Man. He was young.
So
I forgot the guy name.
How was it working with Teddy Riley? Like especially back then.
Great, man. The thing that we had a perfect energy together. As you can see, you know, we made Raps New Generation. It was perfect. And, you know, after a while, you know, Teddy disappeared. Teddy, you know, Gene came and took Teddy. So Teddy wasn't there, you know. And to today, you know, I feel some type of way because I felt like a lot of our stuff that Teddy went on with, Teddy took, that he got from us. And, you know, he could sit there and say he didn't. Oh, I didn't take it from them. I didn't take it from them. But like I said in the documentary, here's proof, here's facts that you took it from us. If you didn't take our New Jack, the whole New Jack swing is us, man. And when you can hear the new records I got, my joints are still up to date. I don't got Reed was the flow. I got a new joint get ready to come out. I got a joint out right now called Swiss Peace. I got another record out called Guns Away. It's on all platforms. Me and my daughter, Alexa V. It got over 190,000 views just on YouTube alone. You know, I got a record, a rebuttal for Kaz and Melly Mel coming out next month. You know, I don't think they're going to like it. You know, it's like another record like Raps New Generation, but it's really dedicated to them. You know, because it's like brothers like got a lot of skills that's still out here, and we're not able to shine because these brothers is hogging up all the spotlight. You know, and I see if they had new music out, they don't. They got the same records out. We have new music out. At least let our new music be heard so we can keep the Bronx going. We can't keep the Bronx going with, you know, the same old material. We respect it. And just like I made Rap New Generation, you know, it's classic. Brothers respect it. They made White Lines as a classic. But I also have new material. I also still make music today. I also got new music coming out. These guys don't have new music coming out. These guys haven't made records in decades. So I think that the guys should let the brothers that, you know, let the brothers shine. If we all from the old school, let the brothers that still making records on the old school shine. Let us get on some of them stages. You know, the people want to hear us. The people want to see us. But every time we come in, especially in the Bronx, it's the same exact people, you know. So that play a toll. But then to go back to with the Teddy thing, like I was saying, you know, you go down, you made records with Michael Jackson. Remember the time? You made records with Johnny Kemp. You know, Just Got Paid Saturday Night. You made a whole bunch of things, but you said none of these things didn't influence you from our New Jack Swing. But why was your brother Rex and Effects? Their whole album name was Raps New Generation. Why? Why? You feel me? Yeah. So when you really look at it, I mean, their whole album name was Raps New Generation, bro.
Wow.
And Teddy produced it. And it was underneath Teddy. That's your brother. You produced the whole album, executive producer. You produced every song on that joint, and you titled it Raps New Generation.
Wow.
But you ain't get nothing from us. Come on, brother. You took the whole flow, you took the whole style. You know, it ain't, you know, years, decades don't went by, you know.
Some type of acknowledgement. Keep it all the way 100.
Yeah, but instead, you know, your brother denied you over here, you doing this, you know, like I told him, you know, that's one of the main reasons when he did the battle with what's my boy name?
Babyface.
That's when he made Babyface. He lost that joint. He lost the joint because everybody was waiting for you to come out. For the first record he came out was the Raps New Generation.
Yeah.
First record. As soon as he came out, you know, no disrespect to the guys that was there with him. They, you know, they did whatever they came here to do. That's respect. The first record everybody was waiting for me. When I came out, all through Harlem, that whole year, everybody I seen, oh man, I just knew Teddy was coming on the first record, Raps New Generation. They said, after he ain't come on with that, I ain't want to hear it no more. I ain't want to hear it no more. That's the first record you made, man, that really blew you up. Same thing when they did the New Jack Swing tour in Apollo. Everybody like, where you was at? And the crazy thing about it is that the same block I was on when Teddy first met me and used to bring me home every night and all that is the same block I'll be on today. So it ain't like you was
right. That's
I ain't moving up. You know what I'm saying? I done moved and all that, but I still go over there. I got the basketball teams over there. I got all that. I play a big part of the community every single day. So it ain't like you did not go over there looking for me. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this. You know, everybody been on this 50th anniversary of hip hop or whatever. What's your take on the overall thing of the 50th anniversary of hip hop? What's your take on it?
First of all, this I want to let everybody spread this word, please. Please spread this too. 50 years of hip hop, right? Who made a new record this year? Let's get into that. Who made a new record this year? Who made a new record this year? If it's 50 years in hip hop and you run around here and everybody on all these stages, Madison Square Garden, you and Yankee Stadium and you all this, how about you honoring the 50th year and you come out with a new record? Everybody should have had a new record, just in honor of the 50th year of hip hop. So now when it go down in 50, you got one that year. Yeah, I made a record that year. You know, just what I honored the hip hop honored me, I honored it back. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things missing, man, you know? And, you know, brothers up there, and like I said, is they just hog up the spotlight and they not really seeing the big picture. The real big picture is that a lot of the brothers from the old school, they already had fell off. Nobody was even speaking about them. I worked in the Source magazine for 8 years. I started a thing in there for 3 pages called the Icons. It's like this. Every month, I made sure one of them groups was inside the Source magazine. This one, the Source magazine was the #1 magazine. I never asked one of them brothers for a dime. Them brothers walking around and I told them, everyone, they was like, man, why are you doing this? I said, don't really worry about it, brother. It's gonna put us back in the spotlight. And it did. And when it put them back in the spotlight, them brothers see me act like I did something. Look at me. Brothers look at me like this. Look, man, when I went to do the interview on you, you couldn't even make it to the bus station. You didn't have $1.50, bro.
Yeah.
I had to go to your house. And I was telling you, don't worry about this. I'm taking the dust off y'all, man. This gonna blow you up. You're #1 magazine. Everybody blew up. There's certain brothers that reach out, Funk Master Wiz, you know, big brother, respect him much. And Cool DJ AJ when he was alive, the Crash Crew. There's brothers that reach back out. But it's a lot of brothers that I did extra and broke my back for that don't. You know, and I'm not asking, you ain't got to give me nothing. You know, just why you looking at me like this from you? You know? Yeah, you know, I go to the club, you shout out 99 dudes that ain't doing nothing. But you just heard my new joint on the radio. You know, I know everybody in this club.
Yeah, it's like, where's the love?
Yeah, where's the hip-hop love at? It's like the same circle that ain't making no records is the circle who's hogging up the love. And if you ain't in that circle, they trying to hog up the love. But at the end of the day, let's bring the rappers out here and take all of y'all out. And that's the way it's going to have to turn back again. That's why we made Raps New Generation, because they was doing the same thing. And now I got the new joint right now for Kaz and Mel. When that come out, it's just over. Bro, it's just over. You know what I'm saying? And I want them to, you know, like, we're going to keep it hip-hop. I want them to do a rebuttal. I hope they do, because I'm on deck. Me and Funk Master Wiz got another joint for them. So, you know, we're going to, because if y'all not going to give us no spot in hip-hop, even though we got a spot in hip-hop, we got classic records, Grandmaster Caz.
Has like the people from the Universal Hip Hop Museum, has any of them even reached out to you about?
Yeah, I did a show on the Hip Hop Museum. I did a show. You know, they didn't really build it up, the new one they building, but I did a show on the Hip Hop Museum. I got my material. I went in there. I seen my mix. I seen my tapes in there. You know, I record on tapes. I seen our joint in there. Yeah, they gave us, it was a shout out. It was nice in there. I did a show in there. You know, we still be doing shows, SOBs. We do things, but not what they invite. We get invite from people that's this, that, and the third, not from them. Not from them. You know, And don't forget, I've been in the Bronx for 47 years. A lot of these dudes took 10, 15 years gaps from hip hop. They was not hit. Going through whatever trial and tribulations they was going through, but they was not hit. They was not playing a part in hip hop. But then after that Source magazine, all that put them back into the light of hip hop. They act like they rule hip hop.
Because I think a lot of people be losing what hip hop really is. You know, people don't understand. This thing is like a culture. Is they
Yeah.
get so caught up in like the media and you know the stats, but this thing is a culture that
And
we
you forget,
live every day.
yeah, and you're forgetting that yeah, exactly. It's a whole, and I be telling the youngest that too. There's a difference between hip hop and rap music. Rap music is what them guys be doing when you just out there, you yelling and screaming and talking about killing people, and you are and you spinning and you want to stab somebody's mother and do all these harmful, crazy things. Hip hop is a lifestyle. Hip hop is like today where I was outside giving out the food pantry and giving back to my community. Hip hop is when we have block parties and everybody dance. Somebody dance with your mother. You have it. You ain't mad. Everybody doing the bump and doing the snake and you know what I'm saying, and break dancing and popping and we settled our battles. You want to fight me, I'll fight you. We don't fight. Yo, come on, homie. We break dance and battle. See who the nicest. I bring my whole block here. Then after that, we do the 52. We got our slap box on 52, but we didn't have to kill and stab and hurt nobody. If you thought you was nice and I thought I was nicer, me and my whole block come to your block. We got our girls, they're going to out double dutch your girls. We got our girls, our dudes, we're going to out roller skate y'all. We got Lil Junebug, he the fastest dude on the block. Y'all got Lil PD, they going to race. We're going to do it all, but everybody's going to go home in one piece. The same thing. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do it all. That's hip-hop. Hip-hop is when, we got our jackets on. We're not going to the store. We're going to bring it to your house, and you're going to write my name on the back, D-Love, and put some studs and, on our sneakers, and we're gonna make us an outfit. We're going to make us an outfit. We're going to make us some undershirts. We're going to get some iron-on letters. We're going to go down the block. We're going to be the 170 boys or the Hillside crew, and we're going to put a T on our hat and white gloves, suspenders. We're going to make our stuff. That's hip hop. It don't involve violence. The battle, you seen the Cold Crush battle, Fantastic Five and Wild Style. And they were the basketball court. You ain't see nobody throw a blow.
Let me ask you this. A lot of people are really trying to get into the rap game per se. What advice would you have for a young artist that's trying to do this music thing?
All right. First of all, let me tell you this. Back in the days when I was young, and you're going to agree, and everybody that's older here going to agree. If your mother heard you, this is what our mother used to say. I don't want to hear you talking bad about your enemy. You don't wish death or jail, not even on your enemy. If you was, I hate him, your moms will whip you. You hate somebody, boy, you don't even know what hate is. Hate is a strong word. Say you dislike that person. You don't say you hate that person. There's a lot of things and morals that these kids did not grow up with. That is our duty and their parents' duty. But after that, when they come outside, they with us. You know what I'm saying? It's our duty, if their parents not doing, to give these kids some morals, man. First of all, anybody that talk about somebody dead back in the days, you was considered a sucker. Why? Because, you know what I'm saying? You talking about a person if you talk behind somebody's back, you was a sucker. Because the first thing they're going to say is, yo, if such and such was here, you wouldn't even be talking that crap. That's one. Two, if you talked about somebody dead, you might as well move, man. Because everybody going to say, you the biggest sucker out. They're going to be like, yo, well, such was alive. You couldn't hear a peek out this dude right here. Now he talking about him, he dead? Yo, homie, you sharper than the mother. You ain't get no props for that. Nobody didn't have to beat you up. I'm not going to go kill you because my friend is dead and you said something about him because you was a sucker and couldn't say something about him when he was alive, and you couldn't say something to him in his face. So you waited for him to die for you to say something. In my book, I'm alive with you. You a sucker, homie. because you was quiet as a church mouse until you got the word that something happened to him. Now you all online talking about, yeah, homie, don't make no more videos like that, man. You disrespecting yourself, man. You ain't harming him. He already passed away. But for you to think that you got to go out and honor your friend and go and kill somebody that's already dead, you got a problem, man. You got a problem, and guess what? You just let somebody self-program you. You just let somebody guide you. You just let somebody trick you out your freedom. You lost. You don't know the game, man. You hustling backwards. You do not know the game. Brothers and brothers circle around you. You should not be doing no crime, because if you go to jail, you're going to be a mark and you're going to be a victim. Because if somebody in the street can play you like a puppet like that, imagine when you get behind the walls, you got the master puppet that's there. You got the dudes that been there for 40 years. All they do is run head games. They ain't got nothing to do all day but sit here 24 hours and see how they can trick somebody into something and see how they can try to outmaneuver somebody. And you easy as somebody can get online and say, yo, F your dead homeboy. And you gonna come over here and throw your whole life away. And you got kids, you got a mother, you got a sister, and you gonna, oh, I'm gonna go spin for my boy. If your boy can get out that grave right now, he'll slap the smoke out you. Yo, man, I'm already in here, Allah forbid, in a casket. I'm counting on you to take care of my kids and let my kids know who I am, who I was, and take care of my family. And you went out and killed somebody because somebody that talked about me, that I'm already dead, and now you can't take care of my family, and my kids is running around getting locked up and getting in all type of tribulations. You was no friend of mine. You was worse than the dude that put him in the casket. So just like you, he left him not to fend for his kids. You left him, and you even worse because you left him knowing that you was going to not be able to fend for his kids, but you went outside and did the stupid things that you did, man. That man is going to die in his own iniquity. And let me tell you this too to the young brothers and sisters. And if you don't believe me, I want you to do your own research. Every last person that since they started this drill rap that got on and talked about somebody that was dead is dead. Probably Little Dirk and 2 or 3 more other people is alive. Anybody else that said that or said something about that, they dead. Or if they're not dead, they're in jail. And they're not in jail doing 5 years or nothing. They're in jail on RICO Act. They're in jail doing 50 years. They're in jail doing 70 years. And this had nothing to do with the people that they had to beef with. This had everything to do with vibrations. This had everything to do with a higher power. This had everything to do with the morals of life. You don't talk about the dead. You don't have to revenge somebody that talk about the dead, young people. They are going to die in their own iniquity. You don't got to jump out there and throw your life. All you got to do is sit back and be like, word? Oh, I know this. He ain't just talk about somebody dead. You know, back in the days, that this is joint on YouTube, and they was talking about how people in Canada are so nice, right? And they don't never disrespect people. And they had 2 sisters in it. They was twins, and they was like 70-something years old. And one of the sisters, they wanted to see how she was going to respond. And a guy said something to one of the sisters, and she said something small. She was like, oh, why you get out here? The other sister said, ooh, like a little kid. She was 70-something years old. She couldn't believe her sister disrespecting somebody. She was like, ooh. That's how you should be when you hear somebody talking about the dead. She's like, oh, what? Oh, man. Even if one of your friends do it, don't hang out with them no more. Because you don't know when that bad wrath comes, you may fall into that wrath. But believe me, he went against the morals of this has been happening before us. Our ancestors used to tell our mothers that. That's why they told us. We didn't understand it. Until now that we're old enough and we can sit back and watch and be like, wow, everybody that talk about somebody that something happened to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you got arrested, you got hit by a car, you accidentally got shot in the club. Something's happening. And it don't have nothing to do with the person that you is talking about, but that person already done passed away. You don't know where that person went at. You know, people running around here talking about the demons. You begging for things. Sometimes God give you exactly what you ask for. You run around here talking about the demon.
People gotta understand this spiritual warfare that we're dealing with is very, very real.
Yeah, you know, I was always taught that, you know, and we know nobody that ever came back from the dead, first of all, to ever tell us there is a heaven or hell. But we have heard the stories that, when you go to hell, you burn forever. We heard the stories. It may be true, it may be not. But nobody never came from heaven or hell to tell us if it's true or not. So we can't go on it. But we can't doubt it either. But at the same token, these dudes is putting themselves in a situation. Imagine if you did have to burn forever. If somebody had to burn forever and they 80-something years old, hey, these dudes is dying and talking about their demons at 14 years old. So you gonna burn forever from 14? Whew. It's like people don't give them these type of conversations. These are the type of conversations they need to have. These are the conversations. I got 5 kids from 20 to 34. And they all will tell you, I always was honest with them. And thank Allah, they all graduated from school. They got degrees, they got their own houses, they got their own cars and all that. And they're able to live on their own. But I always was honest with them. Like, listen, I got locked up several times. My job is to make sure y'all don't get locked up one time. But I'm going to let you know this. If this is what you're doing, this is going to be the results. And at the end of the day, it's going to be the same case, different face. You ain't doing nothing slick, man. Everything you think you're doing been happening a million years ago. It's the same case, it's just a different face. And that's why you think when you catch a case, they tell you, look it up in the law library, see if you can find a similar case like yours to fight in an appeal. And you be looking up the law library, you be finding cases from 18 something that deal with your case and make it get you out of jail. But that's how long they've been running the same shenanigans that you in here running. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, and it's another thing, like I said. See, back in the days when we did things, they gave us a chance, young people. We got, and this is another reason why I stopped doing what I'm doing and do what I do now. They gave us a chance. And when I say they gave us a chance, the first time you got locked up, they let you go but 3 times. They gave us 5 years, like they give you a 1-year probation. Then they give you 5 years probation. They mess that up, they give you 90 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a 1 to 3, a 2 to 4, a 3 to 6, a 4 to 8. They kept working with you, a 5 to 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, when are you going to stop? Because we ain't going to stop. We're going to keep giving you another number, 7 to 21. None of that's happening nowadays. Nowadays, these kids is getting locked up 1 time, and you got a RICO Act, and you got 40 years, and you're in the penitentiary. Now, let me tell you, I'm keeping it gravy with y'all. In the state penitentiary, you can get married, and you can have your wife, and you can have trailer visits. In the federal penitentiary, there is no trailers. No. So that means you got a whole bunch of dudes in there that did 40 years and 30 years and 20 years, and to keep the reality, somebody gonna be on the menu.
Yeah.
And they looking for the younger one because they can overdo it, they can run the game, and they feel like they can manhandle you. Stop putting yourself in these situations. You are a kid. You're not supposed to be in a men's federal penitentiary. If you think that you can survive in a men's federal penitentiary, let me tell you something. You can't. You can't unless you know what. Nowadays, you only been outside for 2 years, so you didn't get to meet a lot of people. And when you came outside, you down with 1 block. So it ain't like you was like us who traveled everywhere, like you came from Ohio and went to Connecticut. No, these dudes can't do that, but they got beef over here and over here and over here. So the 2 years you was out, you actually was on your block. So you get in the federal penitentiary, there's people all around the world, and you get there, yo, Ohio in the house. You don't know Ohio. You only know Swan Street in Ohio. Whereas if another brother come from Ohio that know Ohio in the house, he can ride an old Ohio car. You can't ride that car because you got beef with people, and you got this, and you got that, and you got this. But now you in the federal penitentiary with grown men, with dudes that benching 500 pounds, 600 pounds. Dudes that's doing them blurpees, doing 100 blurpees, flying in the air this high, do 2 backflips, jump in the air. That's just 1 push-up. And they doing 20 of these. You're not physically fit for them. You know what I'm saying? You got the federal penitentiaries where they send people that reject from the army. These dudes got military training. You're not ready for them. You're from the block. You know how to slap box. You're not ready for them. You're not ready for them. These dudes got dudes that's mafia dons that got millions of dollars. You got $1,500. You're not ready for them, man. You know, you're going all out of your category, and there's so many kids. It's everywhere. You know, I hear about it in Cleveland all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I hear about it in Detroit. I hear about it in Chicago. I hear about it in New Orleans. I hear about it in Houston, Texas. It's like a rash of kids just throwing their lives away. I hear about it in Memphis. You know, it's like the kids just throwing their life away. And then I see these dudes that's supposed to be OGs on there. And instead of you dropping some knowledge on them, and you already made it out and trying to add them on, you got them, yeah, the little young homie, yeah, and you know where they going at. You done seen 3 decades of this, bro. You know what they had that, yeah, yo, the little homies with me, the little homies, and instead of being like, yo, you know, you the real OG, listen up, let me drop one more thing I always tell brothers too. All the brothers that's running around, the sisters that's calling people, yo, the OG, the OG. It's 2 different things. One is called an OG, and one is called an OT. Now, let me tell you the difference. We both old in age. The OT is a guy that's 55, and every year he's going to be 56 next year. He's going to be 57 and 58. He just get a new birthday every year. He's not doing nothing productive. Or OG is somebody that's 55 this year, and he's learning this year, and he's teaching people this year. 56, he's going to be smarter than he was when he was 55. 57, he's going to be smarter than he was 56. And he's going to be making smarter decisions and leading his people in a positive, more positive way because he's learning more so he can bring more to the people. That's an OG. Anything doing other than that, you're just an OG getting older. You're just an old timer. You know what I'm saying? You're not an old gangster. You're not an OG. You're an old timer. You destroying the neighborhood. You leading people down the wrong direction. Brothers been hanging out with you for 30 years, but they always end up in jail. You always end up still around. It's time to cut these people off, man.
No doubt, no doubt. Man, K-Born, I want to thank you so much, man. This has been an honor. Thank you for, first of all, I want to thank you for your contributions to hip hop. Like I said, man, if ain't nobody else gave you your flowers, Al Mecca from Canton, Ohio is giving you your flowers. But most importantly,
that's what I'm talking about.
What you do in the community.
That's what I'm talking
What you do in the community. I pray you don't stop. Keep going to the casket drop. I love it. I hope people are more inspired by what you do in the community as they were by your music.
That's right. And look at the key on this one too. Until today, I still don't get no funding. We just put this work in, so that way it go again. But who you?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna keep you strong and keep you being able to provide and keep you able to do these things. You know what I'm saying? And you figure that all the politicians should be a part of this because you see the change in the community. You see this is going on. That's not what they fund. You know, the things they fund is shelters in the community. Things that's taking down the community. You know, I know people need shelters and things like that, but it's certain, if it's a family shelter, that's cool. Well, you can't just a men's shelter, all men's shelter surrounded by 5 schools. When you got people in there with all type of charges. You know, these are the things that they support. These are the things that they fund. We've been trying to get a community center in the Bronx in District 14, where Parina Sanchez is at. And with the Born Bronx president too, we've been asking them for the longest to get a community center. Oh, they don't have the funding for the community center, but they opened up a daycare center in our community, right? Check it out. They funded the daycare center. The daycare center just last week, 4 babies overdosed of fentanyl in the daycare center. 1 baby died that was 2 years old. They found multiple kilos of fentanyl inside this daycare center, but babies was at, man. They found a stash in the floor with all types of fentanyl, all types of kilo pressing machines. Before the lady called the hospital, when these 3 kids was unconscious, babies like 8 months to 2 years old. The 2-year-old died. Before she called the hospital, she called her husband, who came there and took out 2 big shopping bags more or drugs. Then she called the hospital for these kids. These are the type things they're supporting. So, you know, it's wicked, man. And that's why I say it's up to us to come out. We got to get on these monsters, and they got to come outside and stop not only allowing the people that know their religion, you're supposed to be a person of faith. So that means you're supposed to let everybody in that's trying to seek some faith, trying to get some help. That go for the Christians, that go for the Catholics. You just can't only invite the people of your kind inside your place and then say that person of faith. You can say you're a person of a Muslim, you're a person of a Christian, but you can't say you're a person of faith, because faith is for everybody. It don't go underneath no one umbrella. It go underneath the whole thing. That means that you're accepting people. You know, I like to shout that out. I like people to look me up, man. I got, you know, the Lord K-Born, K-Born Rivers. You can look up my nonprofit organization. It's called I Am My Community, INC. I Am My Community, INC, INC. We got a website. Look that up too. And we just, you know, we on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. We always dropping some signs to the people. You know, we still do shows. We make positive records. Look us up on YouTube, on Spotify. I got Raps New Generation out right now and again on Spotify, iTunes, and all that up. Look that up. Raps New Generation by the Lord K-Born. And we just trying to do it, man. And, you know, reach out to hip-hop. I need hip-hop to play a part in this. Right now it's the 50th anniversary. We're doing a lot of things. I would like for the hip-hop to come out and support this. Support the community, support giving back. You know, I see a lot of people on the blogs, and they talk about what they do for the community, but I don't see them. You know, I'm out on the street every day. I'm out here. I don't see you. I see you on the blog, and I hear what you're saying about what you're doing in the community. I hear them in arguments about what they're doing in the community, but I don't see them. You know, we need to see y'all. We need y'all brothers to use some of that juice, them connections that y'all making, while y'all up there with these people on the stage with these big people, and y'all doing all these big events. Start bringing them people, introducing them to the people that got grassroots organizations that's actually out here helping the kids and helping save lives. Introduce us to these people. If you don't want to play a part of introduction, to be good. You know, big shout out to Canton, Ohio. Big shout out to the whole Ohio. My boys out in Cleveland. My boy Caesar out in Columbus. You know what I'm saying? I got boys out in Toledo. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look, I was in the Bears, but I was in there, you know, I was down to Ohio Card. I was in Ohio Card too. That's right. I know a lot of bros. Big shout out to my boy Lil Petey from Cleveland. I know a whole bunch of Cleveland, Ohio Twin out in Columbus. Y'all know the crew. Got a crew out there too. Youngstown. Boys out in Youngstown. Yeah. I got, look, I was riding with Ohio Click. Those my dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? I always had love, man, with the Ohio crew. You know what I'm saying? We just clicked together for some way. And the Detroit crew, man. We always, you know, we just clicked. We was in the federal penitentiary at the time, and Ohio was my boys, man. You know, all of them, man. I never had no drama with not one dude in Ohio, man. But today, we all stay in contact with each other, man. My boy Tone Loke, can't forget about my boy Tone Loke out there. Him and his twin brothers, big shout out to y'all. You know, I got a lot of Cleveland, a lot of Ohio love.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, man, we going to stay in touch.
Yeah, man. Invite me on again, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's do it up. You know, one day in the daytime when I'm doing an event, it'll be good, man. You know, people can see what's going on. And see how we do it, man, you know?
Especially as we go into the new year, I want to try to get you out here for like some speaking engagements, some things of that sort. Okay. So I just stay on point, because we try and do some things out this way, focused on the youth and people, and uplift, inspire, and motivate, which is my whole premise for my podcast. Like I had told you, I don't do the drama, I don't do the gossip, ain't nothing for clickbait. This is really, Conversations is about the culture, flat out.
That's right. And when you know, when I come out there too, you know, and Bill, also, man, you want to have a couple of days where I can teach brothers how to start dating, and the sisters too. No, I just say brothers first, but you know, I mean the sisters too. Big shout out to the sisters. We got to teach the queens. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones who really with the babies the majority of the time. They got to teach the babies. So we got to teach the queens. But you know how to start up your own 501, how to start all that. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do it. So that's what we're supposed to do. Each one teach one. You know, I get out there, I'm doing that too. Show them that, you know, everybody come, we have a course a day, one day, whatever. Boom, that's how it goes. Show you from A to Z. Set you out, you know. You got to start businesses. We got to start teaching our kids to, you know, we got to promote our kids more than just, oh, I want you to go to school. I want you to go to school. I want you to go to school. So you can promote them to work for somebody else at a high position. We got to start teaching our kids how to own things, how to own businesses, you know.
Absolutely. Hey, and send me some links to your new music. You know what I'm saying? So I can check it
Okay.
out. Shout out to my man from Akron, 7th Floor Freeze, man. That's a good brother. You know what I'm saying? He's down with the Urban League up in Akron. Very positive brother. That's always doing positive things. That's a really good brother right
Peace,
there
peace.
himself.
Right. And that's what we gotta do, man. We just gotta, we gotta do each one teach one, man, and teach the people to get out of
No
each
doubt.
one beat one.
No doubt. All right, my brother.
That's
You
right.
have a good evening. You done had a long day at the pantry. It's time to get to rest, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yo, peace to Cleveland, peace to Ohio, man. I appreciate y'all. All my love, man. Rap Generation out of my community. Blessings. Al
Peace.
Mecca. Peace.